Hi, well, you guys, this is Ginger Cook. If you're watching just my hands on YouTube, which are now full of paint, if you're watching that, I just got through painting this sunrise painting. I think it's a sunrise, yeah, sunrise painting, and it's called, I called it, what did I call it? Oh yeah, it's coming back to me. What did we call this? I told you just a minute ago, but that was at the end of the video. Oh yeah, mustard fields at sunrise. Okay, and I think this is really pretty. There's just this cloud bank back here. There's magenta in here, and there's some purple. And I'm going to show you. This is a reverse gradated sky where we go up with the yellows. We started with an all yellow canvas, and remember we didn't put the sun right in the center. And so this is kind of a fun thing. And we did some palette knife with this. We had a little tiny palette knife. We did some palette knife on here toward the very end to get a little more texture and stuff on our flowers. And you know, which are kind of, you know, they really, we talked about this in the video. You, of course, you haven't seen it yet, but we do. On the, you know, they grow all over the world. They certainly do. So this is our. I just thought this would be pretty to do, and just kind of a nice, happy painting, isn't it? So little 8x10 canvas. And if you are enjoying this, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. And I hope you guys, if you're watching this, know that John and I have figured out that sometimes we're not always available to do live shows, as much as we love doing them with you. So I like to film a bunch ahead of time and try to find things that you will find interesting. So I hope you enjoy it, and take and just have a wonderful afternoon watching this, or evening, or when it gets released. Maybe we'll release it in the morning. Who knows? And when it will be. But anyway, this is Ginger saying hi. Subscribe to the channel. Check out our art academy at gingercooklive.gallery and our Facebook club at the Ginger Cook Live Acrylic, Ginger Cook Acrylic Facebook Club, and see what you guys think. Thanks. Bye. Okay, so we start off with an 8x10 canvas, and what I want to do is divide this into sections. I'm going to say that the horizon line is going to be, this is half, the horizon line is going to be on the lower part of my 8x10, about 4 fingers up. It's going to be about the lower part of my canvas. That's going to be all my flowers. And then I'm going to have my sky. Here's going to be my grassy stuff. So my sky has to be, my cloud layer has to be above this, something like that. Okay, so now that's all I had to do to kind of mark that. Now what I want to do is I've got just going to grab a couple of brushes here. What do we got? Let's get got some new ruby satin silver brushes. I'm going to play with those. Always makes me happy. Here's a 3/4 inch angle. I rarely use these big wide ones, but we're going to use them today. And what I want to do is do a wash on here of color. So let's just talk about the colors that we're going to be putting out. Certain colors we're not going to need, and other colors we do need. How's that? So I need a magenta. Okay, so putting stuff out of my way. So I tell you what, when you're, this is kind of fun. This is called design magenta. Okay, and then we're going to put out regular magenta, and which is, they're all quadrichrome of some kind. Design magenta is just a special one made by Matisse. I want you to see the colors. Alizarin crimson and magenta mixed together would make something similar to that. Let's see, what was that color right there? That was what was that? That was just red. That's red. So, and then here's magenta. Okay, so I'm going to put the three together so you can kind of see the difference. Okay, and let's see. I want now what other colors do we want here? We want purple for sure, and I always like to get I'm so organized, don't you think so? Look, it's, you know what time it is? It's like midnight, and I'm filming this because I know it's crazy, okay? But that's what we're doing, filming this at midnight. Oh yeah, we need some white. I'm using Matisse white in a jar. I'm not a big fan of Matisse white in a jar, only because it's a pain to get out, and you have to get out probably out a lot more than you want. But this was free when you buy so many tubes of paint. They gave us a jar of it, and you just have to make sure you get the lid on right and so forth. So there's that. And let's see what else. Cad red, I think we were going to think about doing, and where'd the purple go? Purple, phthalo blue. Oh yeah, phthalo blue and ultramarine blue. Those are kind of, well, I don't think we need, well, let's just put it out anyway. Little phthalo. If you don't see me use it, then don't put it out. But you know, we use the same colors all the time, so this is kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? I mean, we pretty much use everything the same time. We just do little different techniques. So, let's see, what else do I want to have here going? Okay, so here's a little palette knife. And I'm going to take a little bit of the magenta and a little bit of the yellow and mix it together. And I've got this pretty orange color. Isn't that nice? That's that design magenta. So if you want, that's that. Now, here's regular magenta and the rest of our yellow. Let's see what that does. It's very similar. So, you know, if you just, whatever you got. I mean, they're almost identical, aren't they, really? So, okay, so let's do this. And we got to put more yellow out. All right. Now what I want to do first is just the yellow part of the sky. So I've got, this is all dry. Going to dampen my brush. That's just Cad Yellow Medium, okay? And I want to come up here with a little yellow on one side, a little of this orange on the other. I want to come back across the canvas like this, and kind of skirting where my clouds are going to be. I've got this sort of real pretty orange color, okay? Come in like that on the sides. I love a beautiful sunset, and there we go. Maybe this is a sunrise. I'm trying to decide, is this a sunrise or sunset? All right, now here's yellow. Okay, here's Cad Yellow Medium right here on the brush, and a little white, I think. Cad Yellow Medium and a little white. I'm going to kind of overlap this. Just overlap these colors. Kind of push them in, okay? Push them in, and then more yellow up here. Push it in. A little bit of white with it. Okay, and then as we come up further, a little more white. Kind of a reverse gradation is what we're doing. A little bit more white as we go up further, all the way across. If you stop in the middle, what will happen is that you'll get a mark on the canvas. You don't want to do that. Definitely don't want to do that. Just, have you guys ever heard of the green flash? Years ago when we used to live in California, I want a little bit more of this orange here and bring it this way and lift up. See, like this. The edges just kind of lift up. Years ago when we lived in California, we used to go to the beach. And sometimes we'd stay there all day, and the people used to say, well, you've got to stare out at the ocean, you'll see this green flash. And just as the sun goes down, you'll see this green flash. And, I don't know how many years I looked for the green flash. They told me that it was just a made-up story, that there was no such thing as a green flash. Okay, here's a little yellow here, just on the edge of this. See what I'm doing? I'm going to drop this on here like that. This bright yellow edge, kind of thick. There you go, like that. Okay, going across here like this. And I'm going, there's no green flash, really? All right, so here's some yellow oxide in yellow. Let's see what we get there. That's a sort of a different yellow, isn't it? If we mixed into this, what would we get? Just gonna, if you do this, you gotta lift up, okay? Do this, you gotta lift up. I like all these yellows. Just pull and lift, pull and lift. Got this really pretty nice gradation of it. Now what we have to do here is dry all this. And that's really key. I want to come under here first though and take some magenta and white. Like that, okay? And a little bit more magenta. Yeah, a little tiny bit of red. There we go, okay? And maybe a teeny bit of yellow. How's that? Oh, that's a pretty color. Okay. Now I want to come under that yellow mark that I just did. Under that. Okay, and then I want some white with that. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, more white. This is sort of almost a pink color with a little tiny bit of a raspberry edge. See that? You want just the tiniest bit of that little yellow line showing. There we go, something like that. Okay, so there, that's cool. Now, I wonder if we can do the blue. All right, so here's some ultramarine blue and white. See what'll happen if that we can keep from making mud. We can't have any yellow in it. A little bit of ultramarine blue, tiny bit of magenta, and white. Now, all right, I'm going to just see if we can pull this off. Come right over the top of this. Oh, this is cool. Right over the top, and I haven't dried it, so this is interesting. Barely touching it. Right over the top. Okay. I do want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to just do this. Drag it all the way across. This is kind of one-stroke painting, and now we're going to go into white. We're going to come down here like this. Okay, now I'm going to wipe the brush off and just overlap this. So this sort of white, but it has a little bit of a pink cast to it. There you go. There, perfect. All right, that's neat. I like that. I wish we had a little bit more blue up here. Just a touch. Let's just come into the blue now. Come up here, still wet. And then lift up. You have to be careful. You'll start erasing stuff. But it still is a neat way that it blends. Okay. So now we've got, this should be pretty dry, but if it isn't, it'll turn green on us. So let's just take a moment and dry everything. Hi, this is Ginger Cook. If you're enjoying this video on YouTube, then perhaps you might want to experience what it would be like to have me look at your painting and make some fabulous comments or even some suggestions. Maybe some of the videos that we put up are not totally beginner on YouTube, and you might feel like they're a little out of your depth. Or maybe you just like some advice on how you could make what you've painted, which you think is great, even better. And how you get that to happen and how I can see your artwork is to take advantage of our personal art coaching for a month. Try us for a month on our website, gingercooklive.gallery, where we take personal art coaching to the next level with video art coaching. And you can hear more about it on our website. Okay, you with me? Okay, I'm gonna rinse my brush, get all the yellow off of it. Now this is really important because I'm using the same brush. All right, now a little bit of white, a phthalo blue, a tiny bit of ultramarine blue, kind of a mixture of both. And I want to come up here to the top of this like this. And a little bit more of ultramarine blue and phthalo, just a little bit darker up here. Okay, now I want a damp brush because I think I need just the teeniest bit of purple in that. I want a little bit more purple, so let's see if I can get this color just the way I want it. There we go. All right, now I'm going to get white. I'm going to overlap this, barely touch it. Okay, now here's the trick. You're going, oh no, she didn't say anything about tricks. Yeah, there is a little trick to this. What we need to do is we need a little bit of mixing white. Of course, mine's just dried up, but I think I have some somewhere. Here we go. Ooh, there it is. Okay. There's our mixing white. So that, I think that's the, all right, well, all right, so that's the transparent white, right? Now, just come up here like this and kind of very nicely feather this out. This is your transparent white. Okay, ready? There, all right, now, I'm gonna come back with a little tiny bit of yellow and maybe this orange color. Barely touch it. Barely touch it. Okay, there you go. Now, I'm gonna rinse this and come back with the mixing white right on top of that and just soften this. I don't want to ruin my nice sky. So here's a little bit of the yellow and white. So we've dried it, so we should be okay. So I want this sort of streakiness. There we go. Streaky sky, okay. Now what happens? Well, that's our streaky sky. Let's come down with a little bit more purple and zinc white. And I want a little bit more purple down here, like this. I want to exaggerate this sky a bit, a little bit more than I had it. So here's my zinc white underneath it. Still see that, can't you? Okay, now there's yellow on the brush, and that's what's causing that. So this is, if you don't get your brush really rinsed well, then you'll start dragging all these colors into it, which you don't want. All right, so which I did not want. Didn't want any yellow in that, so let's take a little bit of this pink color. Pull this here, like this. Okay, here's the pink, which is your magenta. Pulling a little bit of these colors in here, and then maybe a little phthalo blue and white. Want something pretty light down here. There we go. This sort of a rainbow of mist colors. That's what I'm going for. Just sort of pretty rainbow mist colors. So let's go back to our pink and see if I can't. There we go. Okay. That's what we want. All right, here we go. Huh. So you still got this, right? You still got that. Now, this brush goes away, and we get out a smaller one. And we're going to say that right here, not quite dead center, but right here, we're going to take that yellow and white. That's titanium now. And we're going to create a little bit of a sun. It's a very, very small, right? Okay. And what I want to do here with a little bit of mixing white now, and this white, is to come up here like this from the sun, and very gently, just barely touch it, drag the rays up. It's almost, there's no paint on the brush at all, really. Dragging these rays up like this. If you get too many of those, just pull a little of this dark back in it. Okay, those are your rays coming up like this. Okay, so far so good. And I want a little bit of white in that too. It's really bright right here, right where this is. This is really bright. Okay, that's the part that's going to be really bright. It's not necessarily, you don't necessarily need a circle, but you do need something pretty bright. I'm going to just come up here like this and say, right on top of here, where it's the lightest, it's right on top of our mountains. This is kind of light look. And here's our purple and magenta. I'm going to come up a little tighter here. Just pull that off on both sides. Okay, now, is this dry? Almost. Okay, so purple and yellow, ultramarine blue, and something really dark, right? Maybe a little bit of this red color. Something really dark, okay? And what we're going to say happened here is that we've got some sort of growth that's coming up like this. And then using the angle brush, these are critical for something like this, right? We're going to come along here on the base. Everything's usually dark when the sun is either going up or down. Everything's kind of dark still. And we've got all this. You want it, some of this, these bushes, you want them a little bit different. Maybe have some of this go this way now. And we'll just come along here like this. Say this is our, gonna have some bushes kind of growing up like this. You can get some little tiny ones like that. Like this, like the sound effects. Alright, so you see what happened? We've got this light back in between here, like that. A little bit of that orange. And everybody's painting is going to look slightly different because you're going to have these bands of color. Okay? So that's good. So we know that we want this kind of dark color. Okay? So now, that's just sort of our background here where our field's going to go. Kind of level along here like that. And it's really not much to it. Okay? There's that. Now, I'm going to dry this, right? And, we're just going to take a moment to dry this. If you like these videos, and, like when John and I are either sick or we're traveling or something happens where we couldn't do a live show, we have a way to film videos and put them up on YouTube. And, if you're enjoying this, I would appreciate it very much if you would, subscribe to our channel, maybe share the videos. It's really nice. So that'd be great. Okay, ready? Okay, now, all right, now we're going to take the yellow oxide and yellow together, and I'm going to go ahead and doing little brush strokes like this, up and down. Now this is key here. I'm going to tap on a layer of that's all you're going to see. The farther things are in a landscape, the less detailed they are, and they just you just don't see them. You don't have the details, so you don't, when they're up close, you see stuff, and when it's not, everything's just sort of all runs together, sort of one thing. So these flowers right back here, this wild mustard, this grows in California, and if it goes in Europe too, and other stuff, mustard. But if you've ever been around it, if you're allergic, this is the thing. This is the plant that will get you. Oh my gosh, this will absolutely get you. And just a couple of things that are pretty potent. Allergy-wise, and even if you're not a person that's normally allergic, and this stuff really gets you. Now, we want to take a little bit of this magenta and yellow when I'm out of yellow, so let's give it 2 spots of yellow. Okay, and take some magenta and yellow, and I want something a little bit more of the orange color, and I'm going to tap this in here too. You want to layer this, okay, like shingles on a roof. Okay, I'm just going to start layering these colors in, because for the most part it is yellow, but we're going to add some color. Okay, for the most part it is definitely yellow. Now back with more yellow in that. All right, here we go. It's another layer of kind of yellow, trying to change it up. All right, now I want to do a pattern that's this way, okay? I want to say I've got a pattern that's doing this, and maybe that, okay? You're going a pattern of what? Well, a pattern of dark green, okay? Because this is followed by, and we're just going to use the angle brush and tap in some dark green. Maybe put a little bit of magenta with that. I really want it dark, okay? We're going to darken this up. Dark green. And right in here, too, I want some dark. I'm going to say I want some dark green. pull it down like this. This is sort of an interesting, the reason we left the canvas yellow is that where we do put the yellow flowers, they'll be brighter if they're over yellow. If I'd done the whole thing back green, it would be dark green. It would be very hard for these yellow flowers to show up at all. But we do want to kind of hold that angle brush almost straight up and just suggest that there's this dark green in a pattern. So it's not a straight line, it's kind of zigzaggy. And then down here at the bottom, we're going to say it's pretty dark. Down here like that. You can take a little yellow and phthalo blue if you want when you're coming closer and make it a little bit greener, but really, it's really almost a dark purpley green color. Okay, it really has a lot of purple in it. I guess that's what I would tell you. There's probably more purple than green in this color. And a little bit of red in it, I think, too. Let's put some red in it. And you're going, yeah, but you don't see the red. Well, you kind of do and you don't. So, all right. So now what I have to do here, I'm going to wipe the brush off. And if I want to suggest that there's any of this color up back in here, I'm not going to go back very far to do it. I might put a little of it. Then I'll bury this mostly like that, and it's not as dark, okay? Now, we have to take a moment and dry it. And before we do that, I want to rinse the brush and play a little bit with more colors. There's a lot, it's a simple landscape. There's a lot you can do. That's a little bit of magenta and pink. I can come under here like this, and I can add some pink to this, kind of where that sun is. Let it be peeking through. Like that. I think that's really pretty. And I think that's kind of neat. And I might just soften. Now here's the thing. I might just soften this purple. I'm looking at it. It's pretty dark. Maybe I'll take a little of this blue color. Soften that dark purple a little bit. It's a little darker. It seems to be fighting with my other stuff. I'm just going to go over it and soften it. Yeah, there we go. So it's here. It's here. It's our fog bank or whatever this is. Could be a water, could be a fog bank, could be, but it's in the distance. It's way back there. We're not talking about too much about it, okay? Now we have to dry this, all right? You guys ready for that? What YouTube?
I'm sorry. If they're watching this video, of course they're watching the video. How else would they even know?
All right, start again. All right, sure, okay, start again, right?
Take 900, I think.
Hi, this is Ginger Cook. And as John pointed out just a minute ago behind the camera, that if you're watching this video, of course you're watching the video. So rather than say that, I just want to say, if you happen to be on YouTube and you're seeing me now, which of course you are, you wouldn't be seeing me, did you know we have on Facebook the best painting club ever. It's called the Ginger Cook Acrylic Painting Club, and we've opened the doors for new members. And why do you want to join? Well, it's free. That's fun. 2, you can get help with your artwork on Wednesdays if you've got something you're working on, some painting, and you want some really lovely artists, because we have a big group. And if you put up the capital letters CC in your comments under your description, you'll be amazed at the help that you can get from all these other acrylic artists. And guess what? If it isn't love, if it isn't kindness, if somebody doesn't have something nice to say, they don't say it. We've had our members say this is the kindest, nicest place to be. We think you're going to like it. Also, if you kind of want to know what John and I are up to, this is the place where we post some of our videos. We also are going to start doing live videos just for our Facebook Club members and kind of give you the heads up on what's going on. So this is the group to be in. Come join us at Ginger Cook Live Acrylic Painting Club on Facebook. Okay. So now we got to get all the purple and stuff off the brush. We're into the yellows and golds again. So let's take some yellow oxide And maybe a little of this red color. Put it in there. Just a little bit deeper color like that. There you go. Now, I'm going to just tap this on here like this. In the beginning, we're just going to tap this yellow oxide color. Let's put a little more yellow with that. It's not. All right, just going to tap it all on here like this. Kind of a combination of these two colors. If I have this on one side of the brush and this on the other, what does that get me? And just straight up and down and just tap it. Okay? Let's see how that works. Now when I come up to here, I'm going to reverse it and have it go kind of straight up in a couple places. Like that, so that it kind of crosses over some of this. Okay, all right, so far so good. Now we're coming a little closer, a little bit more yellow, and we're going to say that here's our brush is going up and straight up and down now, and we're varying the height of this. Let's see. Let's get some darker down here at the bottom. Probably just stay with the dark stuff for a minute, and then we'll come back to it. I'll break this up with a few little dots in here, little dots down here. So this is very impressionistic painting. It's a pretty simple one to do. Just keep going here. I want a little bit more of this cad red medium, and I want a little bit more orange color in here. Over on this side, I want to kind of pick up some of the sky color down in here like that. Okay, a little bit more yellow. Just tap that in here. There we go. See, and by having the yellow underneath, some of that shows through. Even when you're just tapping like this, it definitely shows through. Okay, so now, how do we do? So when you look at this from a distance, this is kind of fun, isn't it? So you're sitting there saying, what do we got back here? It's a little bit of this red, this yellow. Now, let's just pull that off like this. Okay, so now what am I going to do? Well, at this point, if I want to do anything else, change colors or anything, this is a good time again to dry. If you just take a moment to dry when you can, I guess we could do a little tiny bit of green in a couple of places here. Just break this up with a little bit of dots. There we go, just put a few little dots like that, because you don't want straight lines. This will melt with some of these other colors, because they're still wet. So we're going to say, so if I put a little bit of this green in here now, it will be not quite as dark as the other was. There we go. Now just kind of over the edge of this. Okay, now we're going to just take a moment and dry everything. We haven't done any. We've done, poppies, but we haven't really done mustard, which I think is kind of neat. So I think that the idea of doing the mustard is fun. Keep it real small as you go back. Okay. So let's find our pattern again. Zigzag it back and forth. Like a Z, like the letter Z. And we say zigzag. Okay, so already that looks pretty good. And we haven't done much of anything. All right, I'm going to dry it and then do some final touches, okay? Okay, I'm just going to do a little experiment here. Here's a little palette knife. I want to do a little experiment I want to see what would happen if we just took a little palette knife now and just tapped on some. Let's see if that makes a difference. I think for some people getting the brush to do all these little gold things might be tricky. Let's see. I've got some yellow, a little bit magenta. Here we go. That's a really pretty, that's the sky color again. And I want to repeat that in my flowers. But you don't have to mix it so perfectly. That's the secret. All right, so we're going to just do a little palette knife here. Let's see if that doesn't make a difference and get a little texture going on this. This is a pretty small canvas to try to do that on, and it may or may not be effective. I want just a little bit redder in here. And just see, let's just see. You just got to figure the top of these little flowers are catching the light, and the other ones. So I'm just going to go up. I'm kind of going up and down with this. Got it just on the edge of the palette knife, and I'm just kind of pulling it down toward me like this. Someone's going to say, could I use modeling paste with this? Sure. It wouldn't dry for me to show you, but yeah, you could. Okay, so I'm sort of scraping up all these fun little colors. And I'm just keeping it to probably about half of this. I'm not trying to go up there and do it, okay? And the color changes are good, okay? This is what you want, the color changes. Just a tiny little bit like that. And you can't have a straight row. Now, I know I'll see some that'll come back on our... If you're not a member of our Facebook club, we originally were just going to try to keep it really small, and then that just became impossible. So now I'm going to use the side of it like this and pull some this way. Here's some of the lighter yellow in here like this. Okay, just using the side of it like that. Hold it flat, get it just up on this edge. Light yellow. Okay, if you start using palette knives, it gets pretty use up the paint pretty quick, but that's okay. Kind of keep it flat. So anyway, back to the Facebook club. It's Ginger Cook Acrylic Painting Club, and we have it's a lovely club. It's a great place to. I love to see when you watch these tutorials. I love to see what you do with them. It's like shouting down a rain barrel. I have no idea who watches these. There's some numbers on YouTube says somebody watched them, but I never get to see what you did. And maybe if you didn't think the instructions were understandable enough, let me know. Maybe next time I'll do some better ones. I need to know what you think, and I need to know, and I need to know what I need to tell people. Is this Cad Red medium? Yeah, I'll put a little Cad Red in here. I need to know what to tell people that maybe I haven't, thought about before. So here's a little bit more of this deeper orange color. Okay, ready? See, I'm just pulling it this way now. Now on this end, this edge, I'm coming up this way. But on that one, I want to come, just let the edge take. This is a fun one for a palette knife. This is really fun because you have to really you want the back edge of this really light. Here's this color. I don't know if you ever have it. This is a great color. This is called Naples Yellow. I'm just going to put some out here like this. It's almost a white yellow. It's really pretty. And I will just wipe off the palette knife here like that, clean it up. Put some of that with this. Just this light yellow color I'll mix with this. There we go, just like that. See, I need a little bit more yellow oxide with it. Or Cad Yellow Medium, rather. Alright, so there it is. There's my color. I'll wipe the knife off again. Just try a little bit of this and just see how that did. Nice. I want it kind of lighter down here where the sun is. Okay. So isn't it interesting how this works? Let's see, a little bit more yellow. To me it is anyway. It's interesting that the palette knife is, suddenly, can give the texture just changes. You do this, and you stand back away from this. I can look at it in the camera, and I'm kind of layering on these colors. A little bit of just on the tip of the knife. Okay, you could just dab it on. Like that. And it's just sparkly. I don't want to follow a path of light. I don't want it everywhere. If you'll notice that we're following kind of a path of light. When we get over to the edges, we'll do more of the CAD, the yellow oxide color. Put it on a little bit like that. Now, if I want to do more of the dark green, like for instance, let's just say I want some more of this dark green color. All right, because it's got to be pretty dark here for this to work. Put some red in it, some purple, and some blue. Make this really dark green color. The dark green is inside here, and so if you have to be very careful. If you don't dry it before you do it like that, you're playing like Russian roulette with this, because you want to. I just am trying to break up some of this in a couple places. Okay, this is my big one right there, my big pattern. So I don't really need a palette knife for this dark stuff, but what I do need is to dry everything now. Probably just a few little dots of stuff right here. This is probably about the smallest canvas I would try to do on a palette knife. And even though, for instance, you may see that there's more of this green really in, say, real life than we're just suggesting the green that's intermingling in here with our flowers. Okay? Just suggesting that there's some green. And there you go. So let's dry it and see what it looks like, okay?
Well, you're on a roll now.
We got the outfit, right?
Woo! We got the outfit, boys. We're looking primo.
Start again. Clap and go.
Clap and go.
Come back here, John. Hi. Come back here. Hi, you guys. This is Ginger Cook, and if you're watching, as you're watching my YouTube videos, you're watching this, did you know that I have over 300 videos on YouTube? And one of the things I really would invite you to do is check out some of our playlists. All right? And if you're liking this one, we have one on flowers, we have one on oceans, we have all kinds of playlists. And I know that we can put that pop-down screen up, but I just want to take a moment and say, if you're having fun with us, subscribe to the channel, share your videos, come check us out on our website, gingercooklive.gallery, for more exciting videos too. So thanks for being a YouTube follower and for watching our video, and I hope you enjoy it. Well, I tell you what, I think I'm very fond of this. Put it that way. I like this. I like how it came down. I really do. I might do a couple things different. Might take a little of this orange color and just bring our sky down a little bit. This is this little angle brush here. That's a little dagger brush. Bring that down so that it's more effective. Okay, like that. Might do that. I think I like that better. Bring that down a little bit. Do I need to put any of this bright just with a dab of something we need to put. This is skinned over, so if I need to, like, do I need to put any little light bits of paint somewhere like that, little dots of light? Because again, right where I want to do it is right under here where this is. And a little bit of white here. I want some white here. I want some pink in that sky, okay? I want a little magenta in that sky. See what we can come up with here. Just poke a hole in it, right? So, because I just think I like pink and magenta and all that stuff. Now, if you didn't get a good, these are dagger brushes if you haven't tried one. And you can take, if you didn't get some good thin lines, you know, if if it was a little, if you weren't getting some little skinny things, just don't make a picket fence, okay? You need to just suggest that these are little bushes that are coming up like that, and they're a little more delicate than you got them with the first brush. You can still get them with this one, okay? Now I'm going to come in here with a little purple, and just in the front maybe. Just do a little purple here. I might run a little of it right off the canvas like that. All right, I would say I'm done, and I think that's a fairly easy painting to do. There's a lot of smooth blending that's going on here, for sure. There's a trick to doing these. Here's some mixing white, and I'll show you what that is. It's a trick to doing these sun rays. And I'll show you. Put it on, and then if you didn't quite get them, just start. It's a dry brush, so it's on the brush, and then you wipe it all off, and you just come up like that, and come out from that. Okay, so put a little yellow on the brush if you want a little brighter. Okay, here's just cad yellow medium. Wipe it off the brush. If you want something a little bit more dramatic than what we had it, that's okay. I'm all for fun drama like that, okay? And the sky's dry, so now so you can get away with that. So you put it on the brush, wipe it all off. This is a dry brush, it's not a damp brush. And then you practice on something before you do it, because you won't be able to get the sky back. You'll have to start over. Okay, so you go, let's bring this up like that. And the mixing white will do that too. Just bring it way up and like that. We can kind of exaggerate a little bit of this. There we go. I think we have another painting where we did the sky a bit like that with an ocean sunset, which is very pretty. Yeah, yes and yes, that was pretty. Right, so one of the tricks is you can kind of put the darker orange in between. If you got too carried away, you can kind of dry brush a lot of stuff on here like that. Okay. But I like it where it sort of fans out, just off from the center of this. And you don't want to put that sun in the center. I just like where the yellow just fans off the top of this, like that, like a top of a clock, say between 9 and 3 o'clock. I like where it does that. And then let's try a little bit of white in that too. I feel like we could just do a little bit more white in that sun. There we go. Now I'm going to just tap that out so that it's not really that white. There. Okay, are you ready for that? Now let's see. How about right underneath it? Nope, that won't do it. Right underneath it we have a little bit too. Okay, so now, oh yeah, that's it. Now that's working. Now I'm playing. You said, yeah, but you said you were done. I know, this is me. This is me saying I'm done. Here's a little of this yellow. It's probably the wrong brush to do it with, but I have it on here. I've already got it dirty. I'm going to have to stop and wash it, so I might as well use it there. That's it. So there we go. Mustard fields at sunrise. Or sunset. I don't know. What do you guys think this is? If I say one or the other, you all tell me. I know. Okay. All right, so that's where we're going to stop it here. We'd love to hear if you enjoyed if you enjoyed this video. Hope you're subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and share it. Check out our wonderful. Every week we put up some fantastic images in our Art Academy. Please check that out. I think you'd be just amazed at what shows up for for videos that you can learn to paint with, and I think you'd be really pleased and happy, and the results that people are getting are fantastic. As I put a little bit more pink in this. Okay, all right, I'm done. I hope you like this, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, thanks guys.